Hi everyone, I'm Karen.
I'm Chaitra.
And we are here for the 3rd annual Women in Cloud Summit. Can you believe it? 3 years, here we are. It's amazing. Amazing. This is all about celebrating community, and you're going to hear a lot of great things from this stage about what this community has been able to activate. It continues to be awe-inspiring and amazing and bigger than I think any of us had originally imagined. There's a few of us here that are from the original founding team of Women in Cloud, and I definitely want to extend some gratitude for that because we could not have even gotten to this point without all of that help.
Absolutely.
So one of the reasons why we're here is we're really trying to unlock what it means to have inclusive economic access, right? Yes. That is the purpose for what we're trying to do, and making that available for the women leaders and women entrepreneurs that are trying to build their business and get their share of this amazing economic opportunity.
So Karen, go a little bit deeper on inclusive economic access. When women talk about economic access, they only think about job, but there are other opportunities. Go deeper.
Yeah, it's a really different way of thinking about economic growth, because it's through impact and inclusion that we are going to see an acceleration of growth. It is the fuel behind next opportunities. And it can span across many different things. It means having more diversity in the innovations that are coming to market from the population of people that are creating those innovations. It means being more inclusive in what we're designing from the start, that it is embedded in how we develop our technologies and our innovations. And it can also mean the big things, the very, very big things around solving some of the biggest challenges of our age. How many of you have heard about the SDG 2030 UN goals? Few? Yep. We'll be talking about some of that today, and so everyone will be familiar with this, hopefully, by the end of this conference. There are 17 big priority goals that have been ratified by the UN, and they're around things like solving for poverty, solving for education, sustainability, gender equality, big social issues. That's all a part of what inclusive economic impact means. And as people who work in tech, who have influence in tech, and we're building those innovations, you're part of what that movement and solving for those kind of world issues as well.
Great stuff. So do you remember when we had a coffee first time and we were having a discussion about what do we do for women? And the reason why I met Karen for having a coffee, how many of you guys have coffee? And talk about inclusive access. Not right. So I was saying, as an entrepreneur, I was struggling, and I said, Karen, I cannot figure out how to unlock enterprise opportunities for women entrepreneurs. And then we started dissecting, and it was so surreal. And an epiphany moment, right?
It was like, why is this hard?
Why is this hard? But what we realized was when you bring entrepreneurs closer to the big hyperscalers, the cloud hyperscalers, we can actually unlock $4.5 trillion opportunity for women entrepreneurs. And by doing so, everyone gets to participate. So that became the precipice for building the Women in Cloud movement. We said we'll set a big goal, which is $1 billion goal, not 100,000 or 10,000 or even a million. We said let's set a very audacious goal, because when you set a very audacious goal, you unlock all the deep challenges that is stopping women entrepreneurs from being successful.
This is definitely an example of when you just put that idea down and you start talking about it, because this is actually becoming a very real thing. And again, when you start hearing some of the things that are coming from the stage, you'll see how all this stuff clicks together.
Yep. And also, Karen, many people think it's an events organization. We are not. We are a community-led, we are an economic development initiative focused on entrepreneurs, working with global leaders and policymakers to really create the $1 billion access by 2030. Do you think we can do it?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
And that was the bold vision we all set 2 years ago, and we started with a small conference. And look at it, today we have 1,000 people across 15 countries here. Let's welcome all of them here. So I have few people to thank, but there are lots and lots of people. I believe it's each and every one of you I really want to thank. So as part of thank you is really making sure that please accept my deep gratitude for showing up and being part of the community and making this possible for each and every one. You are the most privileged ecosystem being in the cloud state and making sure that we create access for the rest of the world. But there are few people I actually want to specially recognize who went out of the way to make this possible. First is I want to recognize Senator Patty Kuderer. When we went and spoke to her, she basically said, yes, we will support you. We will take and create a legislation to make it happen. The second is I really want to thank the entire Microsoft ecosystem, especially the leaders, which is Gretchen, Gabriella, Charlotte, Lindsay, Gina Jorgensen. They all came together and they said, we will invest in an investment. We will invest in women entrepreneurs and make sure they have a trajectory. And I also want to, thank all the the founding members. Where are you guys here? Anybody here? Okay, let's give a big round of applause. We couldn't have done that without Carrie, Jackie, Wendy, Karen, and Gretchen to come together to make this happen. To make this happen, there are a set of people who make it happen. That's the team behind Women in Cloud. I want to really recognize Raisa. Where are you? Noel, Vinay, Dominic, right there, Vibha, Poonam, and the entire crew. I cannot remember all the names, so thank you for making this possible. And the entire ambassador community who comes together to make this possible. So please accept my sincere gratitude and thank you for making this possible for the world and for all women across the world. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So Karen, what were you excited about the 2019 accomplishment? We had.
Yeah, there's a lot to be sort of very grateful for, but also celebrate. That's another reason why we're here as a community. What happened at the top of the year last year is what I thought was just an amazing experience. And that was when we had the official proclamation from the Washington State Senate about Women in Cloud Day. And standing there and sort of accepting that recognition from the senators in the room, it was a standing ovation around what this type of effort and movement means in terms of recognizing that we have a real issue here and we can come together to solve it. And we've got the state of Washington that wants to see us get this done and give the support behind it. Senator Patty Kuderer is one of our biggest champions around this. She gave an emotional speech from the floor, and then they read the proclamation out loud and sort of made it official, like it's in our history books now. And it basically gave you a state of where women entrepreneurs are today, right? And it's not good. It's not good. And to me, it was sort of a representation of a moment in history that we will never see again, right? It is, right, this is the floor of what we will accept, right? And together we will make sure that this gets resolved for good. And now we've got something that sort of gave us that statement to say, not this, not anymore. We're no longer going to accept just 2% of capital, or we're no longer going to accept lack of representation and leadership and policy. These are the kinds of things that together can really unlock more access for all. So that was an incredibly, I have to admit, emotional, but very, very powerful moment and a significant moment for this effort.
And it changed that changed my life's trajectory too. That was the day I said, is like, wow, I'm committed for a decade to make this change. And you have my full commitment for making that change.
Oh yeah.
So, you're committed. Perfect. What about this one?
The accelerators. This is all about the accelerators. Everything we're doing, right? The women that are out there grinding it out every day, trying to get connected, get those enterprise contracts, get their companies instrumented in the cloud. It is very hard. And they're doing it. This accelerator is incredibly powerful because it basically takes someone from inception and some early concept and some early customer wins, brings their businesses all the way to the cloud and gets them connected to enterprise.
Absolutely.
In a 6-month time frame. 6 months. Yeah, right?
Have you ever heard like doing a deal in enterprise space in 6 months? And these women know how to do it. It's incredible to see that.
And we'll admit, it's not easy. I think you'll talk to some of them. I know some of them. How many are from the accelerator, in the accelerator? Yes. They'll tell you not easy. Not easy. But that was part of the success, is not only the first one we did last year, but we have a second one, and we have a graduating class that we'll be presenting here today.
Absolutely. But one of the things that you will see is they're hiring people now. Can you believe that? They're hiring. They're creating jobs in our economy. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the one which I'm very excited about. We actually were invited to the Equals program that the UN has created for really advancing women, and we are part of the leadership coalition, and we get to set some agenda and also change the narrative.
Right.
And all of you get to shape that. Are you ready with that?
Your voice on that platform.
And then we also did a lot of global outreach. We did it in India, New York, as well as Greece. It was fantastic because people are ready, especially women are ready to get economic access. And with the support of the Microsoft, I cannot thank all the leaders here. Without that, we couldn't expand in 8 countries. And this is going to happen consistently, right? Once you get the engine started in a country, then all the women will come together and they help each other. Because when you bring the global companies and entrepreneurs together, it's magical.
That's right.
So Karen, what else are you excited about? Let's see.
Well, we also ended up having one of the top rankings of any of the women tech conferences in the industry.
Yes.
I mean, right?
Yes.
And I have to say, like, going back to sort of how all this works, I mean, what we mean by community, everyone here, all the presenters are contributing, right? There is no paid presenter here. They're contributing. We're certainly supported by generous sponsorships, but that's what it takes. And so all of that, the way we make this event feel, the culture we create here, the purpose behind what we're doing, that's what made this event stand out, and we'll hope to keep that going.
But how do you feel the experience has been? Do you feel amazing? Do you feel inclusive? That's how it should be. So let's keep that going. Okay. What about the advocacy work?
Well, so one of the big things around, being a part of a larger community is you start to get people saying, I actually know some folks that you should talk to. I have access to organizations that I'd like to bring you in and have more discussions. I'd love to give you time in our agenda, on our panels, so you can speak about these issues and start educating more people that are also coming in from other communities, industry experiences. And so that's some of the other work that's been going on in being a part of some of those, those main platform areas where we can talk about this issue and give people proper framing about not only what it is, because sometimes people don't really understand, why it's hard to sort of grow a business and build this on your own, especially when you're coming in it and doing it as a woman. But also that, they have a role. Like, there are things that they can do inside of their own organizations, the policies they drive, the procurement contracts they're a part of, that they can also be a part of creating more access. And that's the kind of message we try to share from that stage. And we invite you all to participate in those opportunities too.
So let's talk about 2020. What do we have? Do you want to talk about the cool thing?
Yeah, so.
What about it?
Yes. So something happened earlier this week at the World Economic Forum in Davos. There was a big announcement around starting a $1 billion access campaign that is designed to go after people that are making policy, that are being advocates around diversity, and starting an intentional campaign that will take place at International Women's Day. And so it's a 21-day action plan, and I think we have a video talking about it from Giovanna. And we'll make sure that it's available through the app and through the website. website.
Yes, but it was announced at Davos World Forum on Thursday. It's a pretty big news because the thing is that this community is actually doing its awareness campaign with the leaders, and all of you are invited. But the thing that we talked about was the expansion. We are expanding in India, New York, Chicago, and Canada. So those are the 4 locations picked for 2020. And we want all of you to identify those entrepreneurs, help them join the accelerator so they can grow. The other cool announcement is we are also enabling the global WIC, I would say digital network, which really is the economic access platform. What it really allows you to do is connect, get mentorship, have access to all the solutions developed by women entrepreneurs. So you have that place. If you feel like you want to bring them at the table, you have all the solutions that you would know. So please invite them to work with your company, invest in the women entrepreneur. And then we want to talk about the summit.
Yes, and we'll go through this a little quickly because we're definitely running out of time, and we've been up here far too long.
Yes. So when it comes to like a collective action, how many of you feel like the summit is where you want to know what can I do? So this particular event was done with the idea of collective action because it was 1,000 people who are coming, and when you have each and every one of you take an action, that creates a movement. Are you ready to do that today? Okay, so that's the intent. Exactly. The scale of this work was right now we have 123 speakers who are speaking here, contributing to you. There are 60 partners and sponsors who are doing, over 120 volunteers who are supporting this event.
Volunteers.
So please
Thank you.
give a big round of applause for the volunteers.
Yes.
And then we have many experiences that is being created, so please take a look. You have the app. How many of you have downloaded the app? You should have it because it will provide you everything. But the key things I want to highlight is the Cloud Innovator Pitch Challenge. It's an integral milestone because here you will get to see all these solutions, and if you like it, bring them into your procurement vehicles so you can invest in them.
Yes.
The other cool thing is we are partnered with IdeaGen to launch the AI Solutions 2030. So if you're not an entrepreneur and you say, how do I get into that? Join the AI Solutions 2030 program. It's an innovation hub. If you have an idea to solve the global problem, that's the program you need to do. And you also get to do a lot of the collective action. That's like a value of $2,000. I know it feels like a sales pitch, but seriously, that if you go there, you can take action, and when you get out of the door, you'll say, wow, I have accomplished a lot. And the last one is the event app. So you should be having downloaded and use it.
Yep, so one of the concepts that we'd love to challenge all of you to do is this sort of 1,000 times impact. And the idea is that you're on a bit of a treasure hunt today around what's the action that you feel compelled to take, right? So when we get 10 ideas, 10 contacts, 10 actions happening, that's sort of the concept of 1,000 times impact. And so just challenge yourselves, right, to think about when you walk into a room, like, what's the action that I'm looking for, right? What's the thing that I think I can do for myself, or the access that I can provide somebody who's speaking from the stage? You know, just everyone's here to sort of learn and support, and you can be a part of that too. So just a concept to sort of think about today as you're on your treasure hunt for actions.
And that's how our co-founding community, that's how we did it. We looked at an idea, started to take action, and that's the formula we want you to do. Increase your circle, make it bigger, okay? So
yes.
here.
So I know that we kind of need to move things along really quickly. One of the things we just wanted to point out, you do have a postcard on your tables. That is a love letter to yourself, right? So we're going to collect those and we're going to send them to you, back to you in a couple of months. So be kind, be inspiring. Remember this day and this moment, because this is going to come back as a reflection point. It was a great experiment that we did at another conference. It worked really well, and so we'd love for you to participate in that too. So one of the things we'd love to do is just leave you with a quote, and Brene Brown, right? I mean, she's so good. She's so wise. And I love this idea of, you know, if we can be on the side of contribution, right? Like, did I do more of that when you sort of look at where you kind of put the balance of where you've centered yourself, right? And even the people that are around you, right? Like, can we be a part of more contribution rather than all the things that we know we could be better at, right? So good balance, right? That's all that we're trying to inspire here.
Perfect. I am ready to do. I'm ready to take 1000x impact today for myself.
Yep,
Are you guys ready to do that?
Yes.
Perfect. So with that, we have something that we want to share, which is our pledge that we have created. So Karen, do you want to read that one?
I'm probably not going to read it just yet because it's a little difficult from this angle. But the idea is, as a community, can we rally around a singular cause and a singular way of thinking about how to activate access for women in tech, and certainly for women entrepreneurs. So this is a piece that we hope to get everyone's signature on. Right? And it's also going to be an amazing piece for selfies. But this will be available as an artifact here as a part of this summit. We'll bring it back for other summits so that we can continue to sponsor this change and sort of activate people with their signatures, with their commitment, a symbolic commitment around really being a part of this and feeling, that you've got a role to play. So we invite you to do that too.
Perfect. Are you guys going to do it? Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to go off the stage. I want you to invite some special person.
Yes, we do have a very special guest here. Thank you, Chaitra.
Thank you.